Good evening, everybody. My name is Chris, and I actually have something I really want to talk about. Something that I've been waiting to hear. Not that I've been wanting to, but I've been waiting to talk about it. Because I've been waiting for it to happen. I mean, I've been waiting to hear something like this. Not necessarily like wanting to hear it happen really badly, like just dreading the day when I could hear about it. But Andrew Tate got arrested. Really big shocker, right? Well, it turns out that man wasn't even arrested for goofy reasons, but for more serious reasons, in fact. Andrew Tate was arrested for sex trafficking claims, or sex trafficking, and was none other than out by Greta Thunberg, which was a real big shocker. Okay, I'm really getting sick and tired of the glasses. That's why you could definitely catch me reading in on this too. And it's even in headlines everywhere. It's YouTubers are going nuts about it in a few hours thanks to Twitter. There's no denying that anybody who hears about Andrew Tate will jump to the gun and immediately start talking about it. Because Andrew Tate's a pretty big guy. But I don't really like to talk about things on my own. I think I'm really cheesy about that. I don't have enough sources. So let's go to people who do have a lot of sources. And I only end up really watching a couple of YouTubers who cover stuff like this. I don't watch a ton of them. Only things I do watch end up being Ludwig or Mogul Mail and Penguin Zero or Charlie, Moist Critical. But I want to choose Mogul Mail on this one. I always like to hear from Ludwig's side. So very complex stuff.
I told myself I wasn't going to make another video about Andrew Tate, mostly because the content around Andrew Tate is very repetitive and boring. Plus, it just makes the bald man richer anyway, so what's really the point?
Yeah.
But much like a messy shit, every time I look down at the toilet paper, Andrew Tate is still there, and today's shit is especially messy and worth talking about because it's official that Andrew Tate has been arrested in Romania on human trafficking charges alongside his brother. And the fun part? It is all thanks to Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg,
activist
really?
From a few years ago. She was like the 15-year-old. It's her. We'll get to that.
Greta Thunberg is really somebody who you end up hearing about in your English class for her writing a speech to the embassy and making a speech on how the government doesn't care about the environment and the climate, which was really good stuff, and she's going nuts now. I'm surprised to even hear her rat out Andrew Tate or give a drop, even be mentioned in a case like this. Like the last person I would expect to hear mentioned in a case like this is Greta Thunberg. Because my God, she has nothing to do with Andrew Tate at all. Let alone, I don't even hear her mentioned anymore. The only thing is material that is made on her speech, and that was from teachers back in high school.
First, it might sound a bit familiar that Andrew Tate had something with the law and human trafficking.
I mean, the guy probably had it.
In April of 2022, earlier this year, his entire compound was raided by the Romanian police. Now, he said it was...
Hold on. Back in April of 2020, Andrew faced allegations human trafficking in Romania. That's where he originated. Okay, I thought he was like a... No. There's no way. I mean... There we go. So UK, both holds U.S. and UK nationality. Born in Washington. He's lived right in England. Really? Where does he live now? Romania. Okay, Romania. I thought he was in another building of his. I thought he was in another residency. Because I would most likely bet that guy has multiple residencies and all that stuff. He was born in Washington. So, I mean, Washington State or D.C., I don't know.
Earlier this year, his entire compound was raided by the Romanian police. Now, he said it was like a swatting thing and had nothing to do with human trafficking, and the story kind of died down, and no one really knew what was going on.
Oh.
But now, thanks to some of the stories that were posted by Alejandra on Twitter, we seem
See,
to
that's
have a
where
better picture.
I would
There was
like
a
to
tip
be
to the U.S. Embassy
in
by a
Twitter.
boyfriend of an American woman who alerted the embassy that she was being held against her will by Andrew Tate. And the story goes like this. American woman's dating this guy. Andrew Tate hits her up on social media. Says, hey,
In regards to the young woman from America would have stated that she met Tristan Tate through social media, a social network, a social network, and he would have seduced her and convinced her to buy a plane ticket to come to Romania. That's human trafficking. That is definitely human trafficking. That is the start to human trafficking. And it's more modernized now. This is like the whole essence of Taken. She allegedly abandoned her boyfriend and came to live with the British military. Why? Oh, why? If you've seen any of his videos, if you've seen anything that Andrew Tate has done, ever, video, posts, anything, he's not a ladies' person. Oh my God. And the fact is he's millionaire is nuts. I mean, I get it. People are probably into the rich and down bad stuff. But legit, guy's far from down bad though for the women. He's down bad for the masculinity of himself and men. Not gay. But just the masculinity. He's down bad for his own masculinity. Andrew Tate was goofy in some way, shape, or form from the start. I mean, I don't know if you know, but people who are just obsessed with their own ego do not care for other people. I myself end up getting obsessed with my own ego sometimes. I tend to forget about people other around me, but I'm also many things. I'm an empathetic person. I'm also autistic, so I have remorse for stuff like this, and it comes down to it where you have none of that. You have just a very big ego, a very large ego, and it's kind of ridiculous. It kind of gets crazy when you think of things happening like this, and then you say to yourself, no shit, stuff like this always happens. Like I said, there's no doubt in my mind that these guys were goofy and were trying to do something. I'm just surprised it took a little bit.
Originally in April, they went and hoped to maybe find the girl, but she wasn't there. I guess now they have some information. And this also proves, a bit of a point here, why Andrew Tate moved to Romania in the first place. This is a direct quote from him, by the way. If corruption exists, which it does, let us all play. I like living in a society where my money, influence, and power means I'm not below or beholden to any of these bullshit laws. I mean, here's a clip of him on a podcast. Just listen. Does this sound like somebody who moved to Romania to do maybe some nefarious things? I think maybe.
There are countries in the world where there's a really interesting, delicate balance of a government and a police force which are not strong. And when I'm saying that, I'm not saying I'm breaking the law. I'm not saying it in that way. I'm saying that minor infractions or tiny things are not going to be, I'm not going to be persecuted to the end of earth I would in the UK for a parking ticket.
Yeah, it's
right?
mad because they
So it sounds like he went to Romania and that's where he resides because maybe the police are a little more relaxed. Maybe he's able to bribe some of the officials there. Maybe he can do some things that he wouldn't be able to do in the UK or US that he feels like the politicians in those areas can do.
To put it simply, there's just not a lot of law. And even though he wasn't saying that he was breaking the law, rich people, some of them, have a flaw. I mean, how big of a flaw is to be decided, but some of them have pretty big flaws. And this one, definitely being that Andrew Tate ended up getting into human trafficking, which is pretty nuts. And it's a big deal here, a big deal a lot of places, but was thought of as not a big deal in Romania to Tate. To his surprise, led to his demise. That actually rhymed, by the way.
Maybe part of this involved trying to coerce women to fly from across the world to do his webcam business that maybe they don't want to do. And that,
Of course they don't.
At least is what the Romanian police believe, or at least the U.S. Embassy, who probably asked the Romanian police to arrest Andrew Tate and his brother. Now,
wait, is he actually back on Twitter? Hold on. Well, little do I know, even coming up in here, there is a video of Andrew Tate getting arrested and Romanian coverage. Wow.
Dinosaurs have an enormous emission profile. And she replied by telling me her own email address.
So he is back on YouTube, which really goes hard in all honesty. Just more flame to the fire and more things to put in to the masses. I mean, that masculine energy is nuts, but man, you didn't need to make your OnlyFans free.
But it's true. Elon Musk unbanned Andrew Tate after 5 years.
Why?
And part of his unban was a little conversation with Greta Thunberg, who is on Twitter. And here's how the interaction went. Andrew Tate randomly tweeted at Greta, said, "Hello, Greta. I have 33 cars. My Bugatti has a cool engine. I don't know. I drive a goddamn Subaru Sandbar from 97. My 2 Ferraris also have big engine. This is just the start. Please provide me your email so I can send a complete list of my car collection and the respective enormous emissions." Because she's an activist against climate change, and he's like, I do so many emissions. So many. It's so cool. To which Greta replied, "Yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldickenergy@getalife.com.
Wow.
A little bit of a roast there, but the roast picked up very quickly.
Wow.
It got 2.8 million likes. I've never seen a ratio this big ever. His tweet got 193,000. She got 2.8. Greta. Strange as it may seem, there's a teenager out there who believes your government should tax you into poverty to stop the sun from being hot. And then he also retweeted a bunch of people who were like, Greta's response was actually botted. Also, it's not even a good insult because that's her email. God. So she has a small dick, actually. And honestly, he's Tate is organically popular. And Greta is like hated. People don't like her. So
to be honest, I don't really know much or care much for Andrew Tate. I do watch some of his things. I have not seen anything where Andrew Tate has given out to any sort of other corporation because he's mostly invested in himself, which is okay. But the best thing to do if you're a millionaire, in a sense, is to go and invest for other people. So it kind of tips your image to be favorable for the people, not just yourself. And Andrew Tate only gets in on himself and a select few people.
Totally unhinged. In a reply to somebody who said Andrew Tate and Greta should stop flirting and fuck already. And exactly. Said she ain't ready. He's pushing 40. Now, to be clear, she is 19. I think everyone kind of envisions her as the child she was when she originally did the climate change. But I mean, we can relax with the Seinfeld age difference. You know, it's a little bit bolder, a little bit weird, a little bit creepy. And he wasn't done. He was so upset by this ratio from Greta. He also made this Twitter video, and this is the smoking gun.
We just watched that.
Let's just watch it together. It's a bit cringe, but let's stick through it.
We just watched that.
Gases. I'm obviously a stranger to online controversy. It's not something I often do. But now, the mainstream press is commenting on the fact that I was informing Greta that my very extensive car collection with internal combustion engines, which run on dead dinosaurs, have an enormous emission profile. And she replied by telling me her own email address. Greta's email address is, I have small dick energy. Why would that be your own email address, Greta?
Pretty obvious that it was just like a bit of a roast and she didn't care to give him the time, but
this guy is 40, but he isn't that much of a boomer.
Along with the I am not owned is his strategy here.
I mean, also, I don't want to assume her gender. It's 50-50, but it is what it is. I'm not actually mad at Greta. Please bring
Clearly
me
you're not.
It'd be so weird if you were.
Sure
all she did was ratio you. Okay, just remember this moment. Remember this moment. He asks for a pizza box, and he says, make sure it's not recycled, which is also fine, by the way. I don't know if you guys know this. Cardboard recycling is honestly one of the least effective means of recycling because we have so much excess in cardboard. Still worth recycling your cardboard, but you also can't recycle any dirty cardboard, which oftentimes pizza, if they don't have the wax paper underneath, can't even be recycled because it makes the box unusable. It can't actually be recycled. Or if it's like a wax dyed cardboard, you know, like sometimes if you get a package. So oftentimes pizza boxes can't even be recycled.
Thank you. So I'm actually mad at Greta, right? Because she doesn't realize
There's no
she's
way.
been programmed. She doesn't realize she's a slave of the Matrix. She thinks she's doing good. Someone has sat her down and convinced her to try and convince
Slave of
you
the Matrix.
to beg your government.
What red pill did you
I'll
take?
save you the rest of the speech. He kind of goes on to say that climate change isn't real, and that's basically the whole of it. But
No comment on the climate change part. I'll just say I agree. I won't put too much words, but I agree.
and so, you know, that's a conversation for a different day. But the interesting part about the video were these 2 pizza boxes that he brought out as some sort of stunt to own Greta because he wasn't recycling. It turns out that the Romanian authorities needed proof that Andrew Tate was in the country because he travels so much. And they reportedly used his social media posts, including a Romanian pizza chain, Jerry's Pizza, which confirmed that he was in the country and able to be arrested. So
No way! That is such a freaking Trojan horse inside him. He literally rolled a Trojan horse. That is so smart. Why do American law enforcement fail to do something like this, where they'll keep tabs on social media? Granted, it can be done, but why do we not have social media utilized in offense to arrest somebody rather than waiting for the quote-unquote perfect moment to arrest them? Wow. He literally rolled his own bomb, his own little neon sign. But there is no way that Andrew Tate, for how smart he is, would have ever done this to himself if he was a lot more smarter. The ego in this guy to put down a teenager got himself arrested, which in my mind seems pretty funny in my own mind, but in reality it's the most fucking dumbest and most hilarious thing you could ever do to yourself, to just simply put down a teenager and then end up getting yourself arrested because you ordered pizza as a joke, not even to eat it. I still wonder what the pizza is doing. I bet the pizza was eaten by the police department or something, which would have been a lot more better. And they just come in rolling in and say, yep, thanks for the pizza, you're arrested.
Trying to unown himself to get arrested by authorities for human trafficking. I can't think of a larger clown on the internet right now than Andrew Tate. That's the whole story. I think it's fucking hilarious. Hope it was worth even talking about Andrew Tate for a moment. And that's it. All right. Thank you all for watching. All right. Subscribe.
With that being said, and thank you to the content that Mogul Mail keeps providing, which I do love to hear about news on the internet that is so much better than news around the world. Thank you all for watching. I think this is really one of the most biggest clowns, as said by Ludwig, definitely, that this guy is just legitimately in over his own head, and he'll be in over his own head. Who knows, maybe in the next couple of days, for the millionaire he is, there will be a bail. Maybe there's family that he has, I'm not sure. Maybe he'll go in with no bail. Do they even have bail in Romania? But thank you all so much for watching tonight's video, and have a great night.